Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to the speed build for my Rags to Riches High School Years Edition family. And if you are returning, welcome back. And as you can see, if you watched my video, which is already up where they got their house, the Sims are still on the lot because I actually built it with them there, which is why I was able to get it in their price range because I didn't have to worry about it. I used their funds. But in the end, then I just saved it to the library and placed everything back how it was, and they got their funds all back. And then I just placed it because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to do a speed build and show it, but I had some people interested in seeing it, and they were interested in particular how I do this micro build. So you can see I originally started with the centerpiece, which is like a room, and then you can see I'm just placing walls. I'm building wall pieces, which then I just copy and paste. In this case, when I first did these types of builds, I would keep that center like enclosed, and then I realized they didn't need to, so you could have a big open space. The only thing is the lighting on the flooring in the non-actual house part, that's not part of the micro, is a little bit different. But and then in that one case I wanted a curved or an angled wall, so I had to build it separately and then move it in. The one piece you need to do is you need to build it so it's not attached, because it'll make it be a room. And since in this case, I'm trying to make it a micro, so it's only 32 square tiles, I have to, you can see all the little pieces, and then I sort of pick them up and place them and always move them. And in this case, I decided, well, I knew I wanted to do a 3-bedroom, but I wasn't sure how much room it took. And building with the grid is really handy in this case, because then you can count the size of the pieces. Because once you put the wall in and it's in place, if it was too short and you dragged it out, it would make it a room automatically. So you have to avoid that. And then of course, I just use that part that's the center area that is the actual quote unquote home, and I put my roof there, because to be able to get it up there, how I do it is I place it on that space and then I drag it out over the area I want to have covered, which is what you can see me doing here. I will often add a skylight, but to do the skylight, I make the full piece, drag it, make it shorter, and then you can see I added that part in. When I used to do it, I used to have it be the full length, but then I realized if you pull that skylight in so it's not the same length as the rest of the roof, it automatically lowers it below nicely. So that's what I've been doing for my skylights recently. And you can see I did the same thing here. I have it going in that space. And the reason I have a little roof covering that center area is because that is going to be the quote-unquote attic that they can access, and you can easily access it. It's easy to put a ladder to get up to that roof, but I prefer to use stairs, so you'll see me doing that a little later. And so here I'm adding my flooring, and since I did use the corner over there, which you don't get to, I'm not doing it here, and then I put flooring on the roof area, which I don't use at the beginning. I do put the stairs up there, but I haven't done anything with it. I use Control F to get like the the little triangle pieces of the flooring. Because it's not an actual room, you can't just shift and fill it in until you've gone along and added the flooring. If I wanted to change the flooring later, I could use the shift key because it's already knows where to go, but without the room definition, it doesn't know. So here I'm struggling a little bit to add that stairs because I forgot that the roof has to be one tile wider where I want the stairs to be. And I wanted them facing into, the big open living space. And of course I don't use the move objects sheet that much when I build, but I do use it to add lights into the area that's not a room, because there's no ceiling, so you can't put ceiling lights in there. And originally I used to do wall lights or, floor lights or whatever, but they're just not as bright. And I like these little saucers. They add the best light. So that's what I use them for. And here, they don't have a lot of money, so I was furnishing it very limited. Very limited money with what I use. Like that fridge is cheap, those counters, not the cheapest. Obviously, the ones from City Living are cheaper, but they look okay and they're cheap. And the windows and the doors, all those things, and the flooring and the wall covering, it's all very cheap stuff. And the chair, that table that comes with High School Years is actually not that expensive for a 6-seater table. And I did give them a laptop. And you will see me later, I go in, because they were on the lot, I did start adding stuff from their inventory. But then in the end, I put it all back in their inventory. And like I said, I've just finished it, saved it to my library, and then placed it which you would have seen at the beginning if you watched that part at the beginning of the part. So that's really it. You see I'm adding some more windows, which they weren't important. So when you're building on a budget, the windows, I usually leave them till later. A door and the doors to get into the rooms is important. Windows are a nice have. And the roof is a free window, right? Because it lets in light naturally. And the roof, the skylight is free because roofs are free in the game. So, but, and then I bought them. I don't think I had bought that yet. So but like I said, that in the end, I just completely undo it. So you would have seen the build where I put it in. But that's really kind of it. So let me know if you have any other questions about how I do these builds. And I can either, answer your question in the comment down below, or if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see, I can maybe do a separate just how I do these as opposed to showing this. And one thing I don't do here is I don't add anything in the ceiling room, where I sometimes do half walls because they didn't have the money for that. And that will be something that comes later for them. So I haven't done that yet. So if that's something you're interested in learning about too, I'll, show it in the actual Let's Play. But I can also do a separate little video about how I kind of do these. And in this case, I just try to use a slightly different floor plan. The other thing I do with the lighting is you can see I try to build in the daylight so I can see what's going on with the natural light. But then I wanted to see what it looked like at night, so I turned the lighting to be nighttime so that I could see if it was lit up properly, if I'm thinking that's what I do. But that is actually going to be it for this video. Likes and comments are always appreciated, and they really help with the algorithms. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!